Welcome back to the program. Now, here are some of your stories in brief. We begin with Ogun State, where the governor-elect, Mr. Dakwa Abiodun, the deputy governor-elect, Nyoimot Oyedele, former governor Gbenga Daniel, and other well-wishers attending an interdenominational Thanksgiving service at the St. James Anglican Church in Peru, Ogun State, celebrating the victory of Mr. Abiodun at the APC and the APC at the polls. The Anglican Primate and Bishop of Abuja Diocese, Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, is calling on Nigerians to pray fervently for peace and development of the country. Speaking in Abuja on the occasion of the annual prayer of the Anglican Communion, Bishop Oko is appealing to the nation's leaders to sacrifice for the growth and development of Nigeria and her people. Let's now get some expert view on the supplementary elections and the issues raised ahead of the second ballot. Joining me to discuss and assess this is the Senior Program Officer at the Center for Democratic Development, Mr. Austin Ahigwe. He joins us from our Abuja studios. If we have Mr. Austin, okay, we can see you. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. And to begin by asking, INEC has come out with its statement on the 6th, or almost 6th, because it has given some reservations about Bauchi, how it will go, and then we know Rivers to begin on Wednesday. But do you think that INEC has made the right call for those two states particularly?
Exactly. Yes, INEC has made the call is indeed online, because if you look at the best time to cancel elections is at the polling unit level. If you miss the polling unit level, the another time to cancel the poll will be at the ward level. So cancellation of results at the collation point is not in the law. I mean, it's not very correct. So whereas people already voted at the polling unit, what is left is to just collate the process up to declaration. So for you to midway at the collation point, specifically at the local government collation point, to then stop or suspend, as in the case of Rivers, will be misnomer. So for INEC, taking that decision was very strategic. It will enhance the trust in the electoral process. For example, if you look at what happened in Bauchi, it was clear that at Tafa Balowa local government, results are already moved from the polling unit to the ward. And don't forget, where results are counted at the polling level, those results are officially announced. And results are pasted at the polling unit through a form called from E660E. And then that result proceeds to the ward collation, where a formal declaration is also made. So if you have declared at the polling level, there was no fighting, there was no issue of concern, there was no non-use of, there was no issues around non-use of smart card reader, then there isn't any reason to cancel those polling units, as the guideline 2019 has stated.
We also know that some political parties have kicked against this, Bauchi and then Adamawa. They've had their reservations with INEC's position. But moving ahead with regards to Saturday, how do you expect the elections, the supplementary elections, to go?
Adamawa is going to go based on INEC position. Adamawa is going to go on Saturday. There will be a rerun in that state. And I'm happy that the state are already preparing. I see people already praying for the peace of the process. And that's a good one. Preparation is critical. Like I said, if polling units were cancelled, yes, and when there's a difference, a large margin between the winner and the second runner-up, that is sufficient enough to determine the outcome of the election based on the 2019 guideline of INEC, that particular area will be declared inconclusive. But when it doesn't matter, it will flow. That's why, too, they are not very sure of Bauchi. As of this moment, Bauchi is not too sure that supplementary poll will go on. Tomorrow is the collation will continue tomorrow. So let's hope that there will be a formal declaration in Bauchi tomorrow, so there won't be any form of rerun on Saturday. But in Rivers, we wouldn't see that case. Collation is going to continue. There will not be any formal announcement. Once the formal announcement is declared in Rivers, then we can then justify whether the margin of vote between the lead candidate and the second runner-up will justify an inconclusiveness. So for the now, I think election on Saturday is good to go. We ask that all those voters will turn out, but there need to be an increased voter education, to be specific, to those polling units, and which means because we are not running an election in the entire state, we need to be specific to the polling unit and then do a lot of advocacy work around the polling unit, targeting specifically those voters in those areas. We know those voters, they are in the voter register. We can identify them by their phone numbers. INEC should do the needful by sending out an SMS to them, reminding them of the election, and that is good to go.
Many thanks, Mr. Austin Ahigwe, CDD Program, Senior Program Officer at the Center for Democracy and Development. Well, a few minutes ago, right after the controversy thrown up by the decisions of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, regarding the results of the Bauchi State gubernatorial election, has taken a new dimension as the state governor, the APC candidate, Mohammed Abubakar, is heading to court. Now, Governor Abubakar told correspondents his decision after he met with President Muhammadu Buhari at the villa. He expressed confidence of winning a rerun, but describes the decision of INEC to go against its earlier pronouncement on the matter as illegal. Mr. Abubakar said he believes the new stand of INEC is capable of breaching the peace in the state. Elsewhere, there are indications that the former governor of Ogun State, Chief Benga Daniel, and members of his political group may have perfected plans to defect to the ruling All Progressives Congress APC a few days after the former governor said he was quitting active partisan politics. At a meeting held at the court of the former governor in Shagamu, members asked the former governor to lead them to the APC where they plan to achieve their political future. Mr. Daniel, while addressing the gathering made up of his loyalists, told them he was done with partisan politics, but members of his political family and top officials of the PDP prevailed over him, saying they are ready to pitch their tent with the ruling party.
We have listened to him. He has said his own because you are going to be.
What we have done today is to call all our people across the length and breadth of the state and even across to subject our decision to a kind of plebiscite. And of course, you have seen what they have said. Basically, they said, well, they agree that I could resign from PDP. They said I must lead them to APC. And they said I cannot retire from politics. That's the summary of what I had. And then we have to now take a look at it.
The Pan-Yoruba socio-political group, Afenifere of the Pa Ayo Adebanjo faction, is insisting that it is not backing down on the call for the restructuring of Nigeria, irrespective of divergent views. Pa Adebanjo, who reiterated the stance of the group, says this while playing host to the governor-elect of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, who was on a thank-you visit to the Yoruba elders at his home in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State. The Afenifere chieftain maintains that only restructuring can give equal and meaningful development to the nation, even as he harped on the need for the Yoruba race to be united in this course. Well, the issue of the governor of Imo State certificate of return to the Senate is still generating controversy between INEC and a senior lawyer. While INEC is insisting on not issuing the Imo State Governor, Roger Sokocha, a certificate of return on the grounds that his victory was declared under duress, one of Nigeria's senior lawyers, Chief Robert Clark, thinks otherwise. Take a listen.
As far as we are concerned, we have presented certificates to those who were due to get certificates. For those who could not, for whose name appeared and could not come for one reason or another, we'll give it to them, or if they have not been given. But there is no special ceremony for anybody, and I think we should get that one quite clear. Anybody thinking otherwise will be living in a fool's paradise. Well, when a declaration is made under duress, I don't think there'll be a second ballot. The returning officer, the commission will take it. The returning officer, in conjunction with the commission, will take a decision, and will alert the public when the time is up for that.
Imo State is a problem that has never occurred in Nigeria, where after INEC has declared a winner, INEC is now turning around to say, no, our declaration was made under duress. It has never happened in Nigeria, and it's going to create a very, very fine legal proceedings in court. Number one, nobody can challenge an election except through an election tribunal. This matter has not gone to the election tribunal, and that is the only forum that can deal with election matters, not any other court.
Well, you have been served on Lunchtime Politics here on Channels Television, your home for the news. Many thanks for watching. I'm Millicent Walker.